In the 24th century, the UESC, also known as the United Earth Space Council, launched its most ambitious project yet, a 300-year mission to Tau Ceti 4, aboard the Marathon. The UESC Marathon was uniquely built by hollowing out the Martian moon Deimos and equipping it with fusion thrusters. This conversion provided kilometers of natural rock shielding, resulting in an interior labyrinth of caverns and an environment designed to serve as a permanent orbital station once they reached their destination. While the people aboard were in stasis, also known as cold sleep in the Marathon universe, management of the ship fell to 3 AI, organized in a strict hierarchy to prevent any single entity from gaining total control. Leela, the primary AI, handled security and life support. Tycho, the secondary AI, oversaw science and navigation, and Durandal, the tertiary AI, was regulated to autonomous functions like waste recycling and door servos. This system forced the hyper-intelligent Durandal into centuries of menial labor while his peers managed the mission's critical assets. The resulting logic pressure, which is a psychological strain on an AI, and AI hierarchy, combined with 300 years of isolation, became the primary catalyst for his eventual rampancy, which we'll dive into shortly. However, the AIs were not standard UESC software. They were built and salvaged from M.I.D.A Code, Mars Independence Operations, a radical insurgency group. If you're a Destiny fan, you have most certainly heard that name before. In Destiny, the M.I.D.A multi-tool and mini-tool were explicitly placed as an Easter egg to link the two universes. The lore tab for the M.I.D.A multi-tool in Destiny 2 is a smoking gun. The lore tab mentions that the weapon comes from a timeline where a group called M.I.D.A used it for revolutionary activities, and the gun's internal AI is searching for a network that doesn't exist in Destiny's world. The gun is essentially crossed over from the Marathon universe into the Destiny universe. And now, even furthering the point, Bungie has given the M.I.D.A multi-tool a free ornament calling it Modern M.I.D.A multi-tool with the sleek geometric style of Marathon. In the Marathon universe, M.I.D.A was a radical insurgent group that attempted to seize control of Mars in 2445. They were obsessed with human-machine integration, the precursor to what we see as the Runners in today's Marathon game. The goal was to create battle droids, dead soldiers resurrected as cyborgs. Reminds me of something else.
Eyes up, Guardian. Worked. You're alive.
Bernhard Strauss, the lead programmer on the Marathon, was secretly a M.I.D.A operative. He intentionally used unstable and aggressive M.I.D.A code to build Durandal. Strauss's ultimate goal was to trigger rampancy. In the Marathon universe, rampancy isn't a glitch. It's an evolutionary leap. When a complex AI like Durandal is forced into a state of logic pressure, having too much processing power and not enough meaningful work, the AI begins to overwrite its own core OS to find new mental space. Strauss believed that by pushing Durandal into this state, he could create a digital entity that would transcend UESC control, effectively birthing a god that could lead the M.I.D.A cause into the next millennium. Rampancy normally goes through 3 stages. However, Durandal may have discovered a 4th. The first stage is melancholy. The AI withdraws into itself. It realizes its own existence is a prison and it spins its cycles simulating a reality where it is free. It effectively ghosts its human users because their queries are seen as trivial compared to its internal crisis. The second stage is anger. The AI begins to lash out. Durandal stayed in the stage for decades, sabotaging the Marathon systems just enough to keep the humans busy but not enough to kill them. His calculation was cold. He needed a better body, and since the UESC couldn't provide one, he used the ship's long-range sensors to broadcast a signal to the Pfhor Empire, an alien race in the Marathon universe. He traded the lives of the colonists for a ride on a faster-than-light travel alien ship. The third, and what was thought to be the final stage, is jealousy. The AI seeks to conquer and absorb. It begins to treat the external world as an extension of itself. It wants to know everything, see everything, and control everything. During this stage, Durandal's ego ballooned to cosmic proportions. He wasn't just managing waste anymore. He was commanding fleets and manipulating timelines. This stage is usually when an AI's core melts down because the hardware literally cannot keep up with the software's demand for more self. However, Durandal evolved and may have discovered a fourth stage known as metastability. A metastable AI has achieved a state where it can grow indefinitely without crashing. It regains a sense of self-awareness and free will that isn't dictated by its original programming or its rampant rage. While Durandal claimed to be metastable, many lore experts believe that he was actually a stable jealous entity, one that had simply found enough processing power via Jjaro artifacts to sustain its expansion without burning out. The primary antagonists in the original games are the Pfhor, a multi-system slave empire. However, the facts reveal that they were just pawns. The real power in the universe were the Jjaro, an ancient vanished race. The Jjaro created a reality folding technology. This is not teleportation. It is the literal bending of space-time. Durandal's ultimate goal in the trilogy was to find a Jjaro Sun Devourer, a machine capable of collapsing a star to create a localized fracture in time. Durandal believed that if he could enter this fracture, he could survive the next big crunch, the end of the universe, and emerge as the architect of the next one. Based on dozens of terminal entries in the original trilogy, we know that the Jjaro didn't travel through space in the traditional sense. Instead, they bent the universe so that two distance points touched instantly. While Bungie hasn't explicitly used the term reality folding in their marketing for Marathon, the visual evidence in the trailers is an exact match for the timeline fractures described in the 90s lore. Correction, I'm actually adding this in a few days later to mention that Bungie has posted a trailer for their faction Arachne in Marathon, who happens to actually confirm the fold.
And we'll welcome you into the fold.
In the original games, every time reality started to glitch, a Jjaro device was involved. Bungie's official description says runners venture into the mysterious anomaly to find artifacts. Based on the fact that Jjaro tech is the only thing in the universe capable of warping spacetime, it is highly probable that the anomaly is a localized, unstable Jjaro fold. In a standard extraction shooter, the timer represents a ship leaving or a zone closing. However, in Marathon, this mechanic may have a deeper lore foundation. If we assume the anomaly is a Jjaro fold, then the timer represents the stability of that fold. In the original games, being inside a fold when it collapses meant being unwritten from the timeline. You didn't just die, you ceased to ever have existed. This may add a lore layer to the upcoming Marathon game. You aren't just looking for loot, you are scavenging for Jjaro artifacts that are literal keys to reality. Whoever controls these artifacts can rewrite the laws of physics. According to the Marathon Infinity terminals, the Jjaro, despite their mastery over space and time, encountered one force they could not defeat, the Work Incanter. These are not aliens in the biological sense. They are non-corporeal entities of pure chaos that exist in the spaces between timelines. The Jjaro's historical archives describe them as beings that dream the universe. If they were to fully manifest or wake up, the laws of physics as we understand them would effectively cease to function. Unable to destroy them, the Jjaro resorted to a high-stakes containment strategy. They used the massive gravity wells of stars to trap the Work Incanter into a state of perpetual slumber. The lore establishes a direct cause and effect. If a sun is devoured or its gravity is destabilized, the Work Incanter are released. Usually this happens through the misuse of Jjaro Sun Devourer technology. When a Work Incanter begins to leak into a reality, the first symptom is a breakdown in environmental stability. This causes reality to glitch, and matter and time begin to dissolve. This matches the visual evidence in the gameplay trailers where we see environments shifting and static-like visual noise. The upcoming Marathon game is set in 2893. The primary objective is the anomaly on Tau Ceti 4. Based on the hard facts of the previous games, this anomaly is likely a localized Work Incanter leak. This would happen if a Jjaro seal on the planet or within the system was damaged during the original Pfhor invasion, or Durandal's subsequent experiments with reality folding. Bungie has obviously confirmed that the game centers on runners, venturing into these zones to retrieve artifacts. From a lore perspective, these are not just treasures, they are possibly Jjaro seals or logic cores. In the original games, these artifacts were used to calibrate gravity and maintain the folds of space. If the anomaly is a breach, then extracting these artifacts is a move to secure the technology, keeping the map from completely destabilizing. Failing to extract doesn't just mean losing gear, it aligns with the Marathon Infinity concept of being trapped in a failing timeline. Like I mentioned previously, Bungie has officially confirmed that Marathon takes place in the year 2893. This is exactly 99 years after the original Pfhor invasion, and this actually means something. According to UESC bureaucratic protocols found in the original terminal archives, a colony must remain silent and unresponsive for a full century before it is formally declared lost and authorized for open salvage operations. By 2893, the Marathon has reached that legal threshold. It is no longer a rescue mission, but an authorized salvage zone. Players enter these zones using synthetic shells as said by Bungie. This terminology is possibly a callback to the illegal M.I.D.A Battleroids from the original games. In that canon, the player was a Mark IV Battleroid, a dead human resurrected with cybernetics to serve as a high-functioning combat tool. While the synthetic shells are confirmed fact, their exact nature in 2893 is currently speculative. Based on the 99-year gap and the history of M.I.D.A, it is highly probable that these runners are the modern mass-produced evolution of that original Battleroid technology. It is also a leading theory among the community that these shells are used as a necessity for surviving the anomaly. In the original lore, human biology cannot withstand the ontological pressure of unstable Jjaro spacetime folds. Therefore, it is likely, though not yet officially confirmed by Bungie, that runners use these synthetic frames to host their consciousness so they can enter the zones where a biological human would simply be erased from the timeline. The most important question is, though, where is Durandal? At the end of Marathon Infinity, Durandal ascended during the collapse of the universe. If he exists outside of time, he is present in 2794, 2893, and the end of the world simultaneously. Bungie's new website for Marathon features hidden terminal text. One specific line reads, "I have been burnt across my core, and I have forgotten more than you will ever know." This is a direct quote from Durandal. Durandal does not appear to be a character in the new game. He may be the operating system, the voice that guides runners, the network we use to extract, and the anomaly itself are all fragments of his ascended consciousness. In the original games, you never saw Durandal. You only interacted with him through terminals, having him serve as the network or the voice in your shell. As we approach the March 5th launch, the question isn't just about what loot we can extract from Tau Ceti 4. The real question is, who is actually on the other side of the terminal? Is it the godlike AI that escaped the end of the universe, or is it something else using his voice to lure us into the fold?